excited to be here. It's a great city to play in. Excited to be back in the NCAA tournament again. It's nice. It was great that we pulled the tournament off in the bubble last year, but it's nice to be in a city where you can get out and enjoy parts of the city. And, this isn't the first time we've been sent out west. When I was at Buffalo, we got sent to Boise, which was great to us, and got sent to Tulsa. Now they sent us even further west. So we're enjoying the weather here in San Diego. Our guys are excited to play in a tournament again, and we're looking forward to hopefully a couple good games here in San Diego and ready to get the thing tipped off tomorrow.
All right, questions? Start over there.
John Titel from hoopshd.com. You have the #1 strength of schedule in the nation this year. Was it a happy accident? And if not, is this the week that you hope that it's set up for?
Yeah, I hope it pays off this week. It certainly paid off in getting us into the tournament. It wasn't an accident. We scheduled hard on purpose. We tried to schedule to get ourselves into the tournament. That's what happened. You schedule a team like Gonzaga, you can't get a win against Gonzaga if you don't schedule them. So, we played well that game in Seattle. We scheduled a team like Houston, got a series with them. So you beat 2 Final Four teams we scheduled. The SEC Big 12 Challenge gave us the Baylor game. That gave us 3 Final Four teams from last year, and 2 of those 3 are #1 seeds right now, and we got wins over all 3 of them. And then our bye games were tougher games. Davidson came to Birmingham to play us. We lost the game, but they ended up winning the A10. I mean, even the lesser, if you will, opponents were a lot of them made the NCAA tournament. South Dakota State. There's a lot of half of our games were played against tournament teams. So I think we're battle tested. Hopefully it pays off this week. It certainly paid off in getting us into the tournament.
Nick Kelly with the Tuscaloosa News. Just now that you know it's Notre Dame, what stands out? And one thing, too, with their turnovers, they don't have many of them. What do you guys need to do to make sure they don't get too comfortable offensively?
Yeah, they're a really good team. They to beat Rutgers last night. Rutgers is tough. If you look at all the wins Rutgers had, middle of the season, into the season, for them to beat Rutgers in a game like that showed you how tough they are. They don't turn the ball over, you're right. They had 5 turnovers last night. We haven't been a team that turns people over much anyway, so some teams handed us a few more. Most teams turned it over more than 5 times, but we do have to try to make them a little uncomfortable. The issue with that is they're smart enough and they handle it well enough. If you try to get overly aggressive against them, they're going to make you pay, go back door or whatever. We don't want to give them open shots. They don't miss too many open shots either. But they're a high IQ, really talented offensive group. On the defensive end, they don't foul much. They're smart that way. And they kind of keep you in front. They're one of the better teams in the country at forcing you into long twos. Well, we're one of the better teams in the country at not taking too many mid-range shots. It's going to be kind of a battle on that deal. Can we get to the rim? Can we get threes off against the way they play? And if you look at the way they play offensively, they got 7 players. The only one that doesn't take and make a lot of threes is their starting center, Atkinson, who was their leading scorer against Rutgers. So he's a really talented player. He's player of the year in the Ivy League. So they got 7 really good players that are out there on the floor in their rotation. They played 7 guys in a double overtime game last night. They're not quite as deep as we are, and they're coming off having to play Wednesday and then Friday. Hopefully we can get into their depth a little bit, but they control tempo pretty well too and don't play particularly fast. And I'm sure they'll try to do that again tomorrow.
And Mike Rodak from AL.com. There's been a couple of your last opponents have expressed some eagerness about playing you, whether it was Scottie Pippen or Cormac Ryan last night. Just what do you feel like you have to prove about?
I missed. What did Cormac say?
He said he can't wait to play Alabama, is what he said. Just in terms of being a tough team to play at this time of year, what do you think you still have to prove as a team?
Yeah, I don't know the context of Cormac's thing, so I don't want to talk too much to that. Everybody can't wait to play the next game in March. Their whole team should be excited to play us. They almost went home. It went to 2 overtimes, so they're excited to play anybody sitting on the other end of it. Scottie Pippen's statements were obviously a little bit more like they wanted us because they had lost to us at their place. And, if it's something where they wanted Alabama, then our guys can use it for a little extra motivation. That's fine. But at the end of the day, Pippen's statements may have motivated our guys more. You still have to go out and play the right way and win the game. Our kids played hard, but we didn't play very smart. We fouled them a lot, put them to the free throw line, and it's not good basketball. So whatever they need to do to motivate themselves, they can't just be motivated to play hard. We also have to play smart, play the right way, and do it without fouling on the defensive end. So, yeah, I wasn't even aware of Cormac. He's a good player, though. Shoot, they got a lot of good players on Notre Dame's team.
Nate, Jerry Carino from the Bergen Record in New Jersey, writing about Javon. For lack of a better way of putting it, how much Jersey or New York do you see in his game, and how does that sort of influence the way your team plays?
Yeah, obviously he's one of those point guards from New York, New Jersey area with all kinds of skill, talent. He's really good with the ball. Comes downhill. He's great off the dribble. He's got some swagger to him. When he's playing well, he's got as much swagger as anybody in the country. He's kind of this, New York City point guard you're talking about. He's not from New York City, but New Jersey, New York area. When he's on his game, he's as good as any point guard in the country. And I think he's been locked in pretty good here for about 3-4 weeks. He was great last year in March. He was SEC Tournament MVP. I thought he was going to have another great SEC tournament. We didn't get the chance to play more than the one game. He was in foul trouble. I mean, he never fouls out of a game. Our whole team was in foul trouble that game, so it was unfortunate we didn't get a chance to really see what we could do in the SEC tournament. We're going to hopefully get a chance to show what we can do in the NCAA tournament, and he's going to be a big part of what we do. And he kind of makes us go. He creates offense for a lot of our other players.
Dana O'Neill at The Athletic. Nate, I know you guys have, as you mentioned, struggled sometimes with consistency and decision-making in games. I know they know that there is no margin for error at this time of the year, but how do you drive that point home? Because it's 40 minutes and the decisions will kill you.
Yeah, it's a great question. If I had all those answers, I probably tried to sprinkle the magic potion on them a little sooner than now, but we've been trying to simplify it. I think sometimes you overthink things, complicate matters. To really get back to what you did when you started playing in elementary. Like on offense, we're gonna take care of the ball. Like we don't need home runs. Just make a bunch of singles. We're one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the country. If we get a shot up on the rim, we've got a chance to score. So let's take care of the ball and get a shot up. Let's make our layups. The Vandy game, we were 50% at the rim. That's not good enough to win against good teams. Take care of the ball, make your layups, make your free throws. And we didn't make our free throws at a high clip against Vandy either. I mean, it's real simple stuff. But if we'd have done any of those three just a little bit better, we'd have beat Vandy. If we'd have done any of those three a little bit better, we'd have beat LSU. Those are our last two games. They're both good teams that we lost to. And then on the defensive end, I thought we played hard enough to win in both those games. So we can't lose sight of the fact we did a lot of things well in those games. But it's more than playing hard at this level. You got to play hard, be locked into the scouting report and execute it, and do it without fouling. Like, fouling's not smart basketball. So we got to be a little smarter, not just play hard, fly around, and do dumb stuff on defense. Let's show some IQ as well. So we've tried to simplify it a little bit. Let's not over-amplify the game. We know if you lose, you go home at this point. Like, there's no sense in over-analyzing that part of it. It's just, let's have some fun. This tournament's fun. It's back in front of full crowds again. That's another big reason it's fun. So let's have some fun while we're doing it. At Buffalo, we were able to win 2 first-round games. One of them was an upset. One we were favored in. Here we were able to win 2 last year. It was a little different in the bubble, but I think get you guys to relax, have fun, simplify it a little bit at this point of the year, and I think they can go out and execute without putting any added pressure on themselves.
Any other questions for Coach Oats? Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. Roll Tide.
Got it in there.
Dana knows about that.
Talking a little trash on the field? Yeah, we get it. Trashing the state with litter? That's terrible. Keep it clean. Keep Alabama beautiful.